Hello everyone! Today we're taking a look at Betafpv's ELRS Micro TX module. So this would be a standard size module bay, and obviously I have set the color of the fan slash LED to blue. And the LED thing, it's kind of like any LED stuff in our quads, whether it's for around your gimbals or on your quads. This is kind of a fun thing. It's not practical in any reason, and they have a little bit of a design here with their mold that looks a bit like the Tony Stark or the Iron Man thing. And you see we've also got a button down over here. That's the joystick button. That's how we manipulate this screen. And then we've got an XT30 up here. And then across we've got an USB-C cable. Also on the bottom there is another pin connection. It's inside here. One of the reasons it seems to be they use this screen is to make this module available to those who have radios that aren't running OpenTX. Now, you still need to have CrossFire support, but if you don't have OpenTX and you do have CrossFire, then this module should work. You wouldn't have to use a Lewis grip on your radio in order to manipulate it. And we've got this little button here on the back. Let me use my other hand. So to get into the menu system, we just long press it. And then you navigate through. And then when you want to change a value, like we'll change this with long press. Get another color, long press. Get another color, long press. Get another color, long press. So we went through all of them, didn't we? Let me try it one more time just to make sure I get through all of them. Yeah. So we went back to blue. Oh, did you see that? It flashed. What did I hit? When you do the bind, I hadn't noticed that before. It does a flashing of your little LED light. So that's a pretty cool feature. Not necessary, but it's there. This is the 900 megahertz version. If you didn't see it here at the top, hopefully you can get that. 915 megahertz. I only have one quad that is still running 900 megahertz. I'm pretty much running 2.4, but you know, depending upon where you are at in the world or what you want out of ELRS, like if you want extreme long range or if you're just going to fly quads, you know, you have different desires and possible needs. So I bound it up to this, flew it around the house, seemed to work fine, kind of a proof of concept testing. I think this will be launching here probably in the next day or two. As far as the price point goes, I suspect to be competitive, it's going to have to be at a similar price point as all the other modules. So somewhere between $40 to $50, I would think in there, maybe even less. This cable that they give you here, now this antenna doesn't come stock, this is an extra, but if you do get the extra fancy sort of antenna, this cable is stiff and it does hold its position. The display will show 1 watt as far as your power goes, 1 milliwatt, but I believe only 500 milliwatt is supported. But you know, quite honestly, unless you're trying to go to the moon, 100 milliwatts should be fine. Wesley Vardy has had one of his wings out over 33 kilometers at, I think he was running 25 milliwatt. So if you're running 100, now, if you're running in a bando and behind stuff, maybe 100 or 250 is something that you need. But that's really all there is to this. Now, I do have some pictures here for the people that know the construction of these things and all the finer bits that are attached to these boards. You can take a look. You do see that we have a fan and how it's attached. We also have a right angle adapter in there that gets our SMA connector to the top. Unfortunately for mine, I don't know if this is an early production run or not, because obviously mine is black. But I would think these would be white, and this tab is broken. You can kind of see it's kind of loose. I super glued it back on, and you probably noticed in those pictures how it was missing. I super glued it back on, and it's holding on, but it's really not doing its job of clipping in that little space it has in there. But otherwise, as far as how the module fits, it seems to be taut. It stays in there well. I haven't had any issues with it, you know, as I've handled it here on the desk or carried it out in the backyard or whatnot. It hasn't been sloppy by any stretch, but I'm a little bit worried about the plastics that they've used, specifically on that outer edge. Are these clips potentially going to be the fragile point within these? I don't know, but in my experience with my module, this did break, and I didn't have it in and out a bunch of times. It broke on the first time I put it in. And I did try to, you know, put it in carefully and slide it in flat. Didn't have it cockeyed at an angle or anything. Put it in nice and flat, but it still broke. So just a short video on this new module. I'll put a link down in the video description if it's available. I'll probably hold off publishing this until it is available. Otherwise, it's kind of a waste. But it's an interesting feature, and I'm wondering if more manufacturers might start adopting this screen. possibly, so that our friends who aren't using OpenTX radios can possibly use Express LRS as well. The LED feature, it's cool. Not necessary, but it's cool. The fan does give us the ability to run more than 250 milliwatts. That's a hardware requirement, which we have to have that fan. And this fan you can hear. I don't know if you can hear it. My microphone will pick it up unless I'm talking. Let me hold it close. Hopefully you can hear that, but if not, know that I can hear the fan sitting here and not necessarily a stealthy, quiet area at arm's length. It's not a quiet fan. You know, I've got it out here, and you might be able to hear it in the background audio if you couldn't hear it earlier. And it's not close to my microphone either. So it's a minor point. It probably won't bother very many people, but it's something that I do have to bring up. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please let me know in the comments section below. I appreciate your time. And thanks for watching.